What's going on, everyone? Chris from PickDogs.com here with Jay and Ron on a Thursday. Got a full card of action today. It's a smaller MLB card, but we got some WNBA to throw in there as well. Round one of the the NBA draft was last night. Jay, how's it going?
Money making Thursday. Ready to get her done. Rough couple days for me. So I'm trying to get back on track today. Let's do it.
Ron, how's it going?
It's going good, Chris. A 9-game schedule in the MLB, some WNBA, Canadian Football League. So it's the dog days of summer, but we got some action going, some nice spots. I do think it's a pretty tough card overall, but we'll see.
Yeah, it was finally one of those days where the ball bounced my way last night, but it was like one of those things where I was cold for a little while, and it was just trying to get it back on track. But like you guys said, it's the dog days of summer. These days are going to happen. Just got to try to find our value elsewhere. The lines today, there's some lines today that are just absolutely bonkers. But we're getting to that point of the year, so we just got to sort of trudge through it. Before we get into what did you guys think of round one of the draft last night? Did you guys take it in at all? I know Jay and you were talking about it when we were doing the WNBA videos last night. Ron, did you take in anything?
Ron was there, with his hop, the hop from nearly Wednesday, they had to call him.
Yeah, I'm going to be the representative doing the second round pick for the Hawks today. So we're going to be drafting. I can't tell you. You'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I watched a little bit. I'm not so much. I don't really have the knowledge of the G League guys and the international guys. To just be honest, But some of the college basketball players going. I thought the biggest surprise was Zach Edey going in the top 10. Figured he would get drafted, but I didn't think he'd be in the top 10. So especially with the direction the NBA is headed, with bigs needing to be two-way players, be able to hit the shots off the pick and roll, long range. Edey, that's not really his game at all. I mean, even the pick and roll, they didn't really implement him with jump shots there, and his defense is, with the defensive 3-second violations, I worry that he's going to pile those up. So we'll see. But I like Zach Edey. I was a Purdue guy, so I'm glad to see him get drafted.
I thought it was, I was sad to see Dillingham, man. He was super excited to go to the Spurs. He really, he wanted to play for the Spurs. It was like his family wanted him to go to the Spurs. Then they trade him. Damn. And to be honest, I don't even like the trade. They traded him for a 7th grader. That's what it is. So
and they kind of just slipped that trade in there, like, oh, and by the way, he got traded to the, it's just like didn't even make a big thing about it.
Yeah, man. So I mean, they did get a first back, but it's 2031. That's disgusting. So we'll see. I'm sure Big Al will have some thoughts on it. What else happened? We saw Terrence Shannon also go to the Wolves, so I thought that's pretty interesting. We'll see how he kind of fits over there. Culture-wise, I kind of feel like he'll fit in. Buzelis went to the Bulls. I just, we'll see how this draft shapes out in the end. But and I think we'll have a little fun with it today. A lot of us trying to see if Bronny will get drafted today to the Lakers, to the Mavs, to Phoenix. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I was just happy that the Raptors got Jacoby Walter after seeing how well he did with Baylor and how solid he was in his one season in college. It was good to watch him finally do well with the draft pick. But yeah, I was a little bit surprised to see Connect go to the Lakers. A little bit surprised to see Zach Edey go as high as he did, but I thought he was going to fall down out of the lottery. But the Grizzlies, I guess they want him. You see the post that John Morant put out?
Yeah,
the Instagram post.
It was funny.
I really hope he never changes, man. I love John Morant. I mean, hold on. There's certain things I hope he would change after the year he had this past season, but the humor can stay. I like the humor. But yeah, I'm interested to see this because a lot of people were saying this is going to be the worst NBA draft, in years. But Jay, I think you said it yesterday. I think it just means that there's a lot of potential here.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just
definitely
it's just a lot of unknown.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. Summer League coming up. Can't wait for it. We'll get to see some young talent then, see how they, we'll see. That's all I'll say. We'll see.
What else you guys got going on today? What do you guys want to talk about?
No.
Let's talk about our feelings.
I'm not used to being the voice box. Mitch is used to, I'm used to Mitch sort of setting the topics of conversation. I used to get into the pick 6 minutes into the show, so it's like I'm trying to hold off a little bit, but I'm trying to see what. OG Anunoby getting a $212 million deal from the Knicks.
Nah, that's insane. When they got the trade for Mikal Bridges, I thought maybe they let him walk. But I like OG. I think he's a really good player in this league, but to be paid that type of money, that's the number one option style money. And
well, that's just the NBA these days. I remember Anderson Varejao got a big deal not too long ago. So it's crazy. You look at these contracts, you compare them to the NHL or the MLB even, and they look crazy, but they got the money. The Knicks are going all in. How many times have we heard that before?
Yeah, man.
In March of 2024, what?
The Villanova Knicks.
In March of 2024, they're saying what the worst contracts are. Bradley Beal, 4 years, $207 million. Jordan Poole, 4 years, $123 million.
That ain't that bad.
Zach LaVine, 4 years, $178.
Terrible.
Andrew Wiggins, 4 years, $109.
That's okay.
So there's some of these that I thought would be higher than other ones. Chris Middleton, 3 years, $95 million.
What did OG get?
5 years, $212.
Oof. Yeah, no, bro. He get number one, top of the league money, bro. That's crazy. That's crazy. What's Jaylen Brown's contract? I know his is the highest ever. So but OG low key in that space, ain't he? Jaylen Brown was 5 years, 286. So yeah. Ooh.
Let's see. Jeremy Grant, 5 years, $160. But Karl Anthony Towns, 5 years, $257 million.
There's some contracts out there. It's the NBA, man. Money making NBA.
And to think it's still nothing in comparison to some of the contracts we've seen in Major League Baseball. That's the only reason it's like that is because it's a salary cap league. But I don't know. It's just some teams have all the money, and some guys are going to get paid because of one good year. But I think OG, good defender, just doesn't have, I don't know. Doesn't have that scoring touch that I'd want a guy that I'm going to pay $212 million to. Consistent scoring. I'm paying that for a guy that's scoring 20, 25 points a game. He'll probably give you 10 to 15 a game with some good defense. But he can guard the three really well, so we'll see. But all right, I'm trying to stall because we don't have the biggest MLB card today. Probably going to be a little bit of a quicker show, but we might as well get into it. What do you guys say?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right, we'll go three at a time. We'll go the Twins and the Diamondbacks. We got the Cubs and the Giants, and the Braves and the White Sox. Jay, what do you like here?
We've got some pretty good pitchers on the mound to start the day. I know we might not throw my guy Monty in that conversation with the ERA he has this season, 5.7. Diamondbacks have been competitive in his games this year, though. Everybody knows I love fading the Twins. It's just something in me. The last couple starts for Montgomery have been much better. I'm starting to see him return to the guy that we saw in the postseason last year, the guy that propelled his team to win a World Series. I know the Diamondbacks have lost 3 of their last 4, but I think this is a bounce back spot for them at home at the crib, competitive series, 2, middle of the road teams. I'm gonna take the home team with the better starting option. Young guy on the mound for the Twins. Or I don't really know what to expect, to be honest, from Mr. Festa, Mr. David Festa. Maybe one of these guys can give me a better explanation on what to expect from him, but I'm gonna take the Diamondbacks here at home at the crib in a lean. Imanaga-sama on the mound today for the Cubbies and Mr. Hicks. This has been a fairly low scoring style series, 5-1, 4-3. There was a 5-4 game. Imanaga hasn't been the best since, starting the season off extremely hot. Recently, he's been blown up. Today, I think he probably gets back into form. I'm going to take a first 5 under is what I'm going to do in this game. I don't think Hicks necessarily gets blown up. I don't necessarily trust the Cubs bats either. So, first 5 under for me, Cubs, Giants. And then Braves, White Sox, it's just way too overpriced for me to touch that thing. So I'm not a Braves guy, to be honest. I'm not looking to lay that 2.5 runs. Getting 2.5 in your back pocket at even money, it's kind of hard for me to pass up. So sometimes I would lean in that direction with the White Sox.
Well, David Festa is the top pitching prospect for the Twins. He's I think 99th in the top 100 for the MLB. So he is, a solid prospect. He pitched in AAA this year, 3.77 ERA through about 60 innings of work with 87 strikeouts. So great strikeout stuff. The worry is the home run ball, which we see a lot with these young pitchers. The control's a little bit off as well, 3.6 walks per 9. But I think he pitches okay. It's a tough spot. Arizona does a good job of limiting strikeouts. But I do also like the Twins matchup against Montgomery. They hit lefties pretty well. So I would lean towards the over in that one. But I think Minnesota still grabs the W because I trust their bullpen more. And in that Cubs game, Imanaga, we know he's not going to pitch that poorly like he did in that last game. The wind was blowing way out at Wrigley. But still, the Giants have hit lefties really well in the last 30 days. I think Jordan Hicks can go toe-to-toe with Imanaga. I think he arguably is the better option in this game. And I trust San Francisco's bullpen more. So I would go with the Giants in that game. And then that Braves-White Sox, obviously, like Jay mentioned, the price is crazy. For me, I just wouldn't want to be laying minus 350 or 2.5 runs with a team that played a doubleheader yesterday, has to go to Chicago today, and then has to go back to Atlanta tomorrow. They're all over the place. Chris Sale's lefty's pitching really, really well this year. But the White Sox have been a little, decent against lefties in the last month. I know it's the White Sox. They have been miserable, but if there was a spot here, I don't like Chad Cole, so this is a tough one. Originally it was Drew Thorpe as the projected starter, and that was I could get behind the White Sox, at that one. Chad Cole, I do think he struggles, but I still think the White Sox compete. So I would say take the 2.5 runs with Chicago in the end.
I gotta ask you, hey. Hicks, Imanaga, you really taking Hicks?
Yep. Oh, I will. Oh, yeah.
For real?
Mm-hmm. That's me. If I'm let's see how old these guys are. If I'm starting a franchise, Imanaga's 30. Yeah, I'll take Hicks all day long. But especially in this spot, Hicks, a ground ball pitcher pitching at Oracle Park, which is a very pitcher-friendly ballpark. Good velocity. He's working on that strikeout stuff. I'd take Hicks.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I think a lot of people forget that all the pitchers that come over from Japan usually have 5-6 years under their belt, or so at least a decent chunk and they're coming over a lot older than you'd see someone in a normal farm system. So,
fair.
Yeah, I'm going to lean towards the Twins as well. Yeah, like Ron said, Festa, top ranked pitching prospect in the Twins organization, and the Twins in the last 2 weeks against lefties, hitting 389, leading baseball and team OPS. Up there in isolated power, they're doing a lot of damage, and yeah, I trust that bullpen a lot more. So I'm gonna go with the Twins in that one. I'm also gonna go with the Giants. I'm gonna fade Imanaga. Last time we saw Imanaga get roughed up, it was in Milwaukee. Then he came back in the next start and gave up 5 runs. One was earned, but gave up 5 runs against the Chicago White Sox. And so far, what that tells me is that he needs to start to get back on track, and then he gets back on track for maybe after that. But this isn't a good matchup for him. The Giants, last 2 weeks, 315 batting average against lefties. They've hit lefties better than they've hit righties this season. They're at home. We just saw Jordan Hicks have a solid outing against these same Cubs. I think it was 5 2/3 a shutout ball in the last series, last week. So I just still can't trust the Cubs. I can't do it. So give me the Giants in that one, and that I'm probably not going near that Braves White Sox game just because of that line where it is. And Chris Sale is the better starter, and I mean I've seen the White Sox get held off the score sheet more often than I can remember this season. So probably stay away from that one. But we'll move on to the next slate. We got the Marlins and the Phillies. We got the Rangers and the Orioles, and the Blue Jays and the Yankees. Ron, what do you like here?
Yeah, the Marlins, Phillies, like we mentioned, few prices in today's card that it's tough to make a play unless you're taking the dog. And this is a spot where I just can't get there with the dog. So I would lay the 2.5 runs with the Phillies. I think while Rogers is definitely improving his game, there's no doubt about it. This is a really tough matchup. He's not facing the Mariners and the Nationals. He's facing the Phillies, who we know have been one of the better lineups in baseball this year. And we know that Wheeler doesn't always get the run support, and that's why sometimes he's not the best option in terms of betting because he's not the most profitable. But they are backing him up recently. I mean, they scored 12 runs in that last game for him in a 12-1 win, and I think the Phillies get some run support on the board early and late. The Marlins bullpen, I don't love it. I think Wheeler continues to pitch well. He had that one horrible outing, but that was against the Orioles on the road. The Orioles have been crushing righties, so no surprise there. I think we see a pretty boring 5-1 kind of win for the Phillies, where they win and cover that extended run line. The Rangers, Orioles, I mean, the Rangers have been dreadful recently, and you wonder if this team is going to figure it out because, a lot of the hitters that were key contributors to last year's World Series win are some of the worst hitters in baseball this year. When you look at the WRC plus, OPS plus, I mean, guys like Adolis Garcia, sub 700 OPS. They're striking out a ton recently. I mean, you look at that last game, they were given a gift to get to face Dallas Keuchel. We don't always get to face Dallas Keuchel. And he did his job. He went out there and gave up the 5 runs that we expected him to give up in 4 innings. But after that, they didn't make a peep the rest of the game offensively, and they ended up losing in extra innings. And they are the worst lineup in baseball against right-handed pitching in the last 30 days in OPS and ISO. So you're facing one of the best right-handed pitchers in baseball in Corbin Burns. You're struggling offensively. Your bullpen was used quite a bit yesterday with Robertson and Yates going. It's already one of the weaker bullpens in the American League. You got John Gray on the mound, who has just not looked 100% in terms of his health. I mean, like when you look, he hasn't been pitching. Last game he went 6 innings. He pitched a shutout, 6 innings shutout ball, but they took him out after 72 pitches, and it's because he was giving up a lot of sharp contact, and they didn't really want to chance him going out there for the 7th. We know what he did the previous start, giving up 9 earned runs. So him and Eovaldi just look off this year, and we saw Eovaldi struggle yesterday. So I think the Orioles, with the best lineup in baseball right now, get to Gray. I think Burns pitches well, and I think the Orioles win in a blowout. And I think it's surprising to see the Rangers as this big of an underdog, but that's just the way this team is playing recently. And in the Reds-Cardinals game, I lean towards St. Louis. I think it's going to be a pretty low-scoring pitchers duel, but I think the Cardinals bullpen is the better option, so I go with St. Louis.
Yeah, this is tough because the Orioles didn't look great in that last series. Jay says I love the Orioles. I mean, I do, but it's priced a little bit much. I would lean towards the Orioles run line, I think, of anything, but the Rangers did look good in that series against the Royals for the most part. So probably a stay away from that one for me. But if anything, lean towards the O's. I'm taking the over 8.5 Yankees Toronto. Carlos Rodon and Jose Barrios, two pitchers that really struggled in their last couple starts. The Yankees giving up, Rodon giving up, I think, 12 runs in his last two starts. Barrios has given up 3 or more in 3 straight, 5 runs last time out. The Jays have been brutal against lefties in the last 2 weeks, dead last in team OPS, but I think they can at least get a few runs off of Rodon. They started to figure some stuff out at the tail end of that Red Sox series. And, I think the Yankees still have a potent lineup that can get to Barrios even at home. So I go with the over 8.5 there. I'm going to go over 8 in Marlins Phillies. Wouldn't surprise me if the Phillies did the majority of this damage. Trevor Rogers, an ERA over 9 in his last 5 starts against the Phillies. But we also saw the Marlins get to Wheeler for 6 runs earlier this season. So I'm going to go with the over 8 there. I think even if it's a one-sided game, we're going to find a way to get over this total. So give me the over 8. Jay, what do you like here?
I just have a feeling that the Rangers.
I shouldn't have even said anything. I should have said, what do you like besides?
We own this team. We beat them in the playoffs.
Hey man. We take y'all on a trip down memory lane right quick. We know what happened last time we was in Baltimore, man. We know. And
Corbin Burns wasn't there.
This is the perfect get right series for us. Yeah, Milwaukee just kicked the crap out of us. I ain't got nothing to say. You know what I mean? They did. And a lot of what Ron said is true too. You can't
everything that Ron said is true.
A lot of our hitters aren't necessarily hitting the best. Our best hitter right now is Josh Smith, which is crazy. But look, the O's, I'm going to make the argument that I don't think the O's are worth minus 225 right now. That's the argument that I'm going with. They've been struggling. They've been in probably the worst stretch of baseball that we've seen them play all season long. They did get the dub yesterday. Shout out to them. I was on the wrong side. I had the Guardians. But I think, this Rangers team, 6 games below 500, they're a 50-50 team. I think this series is probably going to end up best case scenario, 2-2 Rangers, 3-1 O's. It's probably how this series shapes out. The O's have been the better team throughout the season, but the way John Gray has pitched throughout the entirety of the season, I think in a 50-50 team like the Rangers, who had success against the O's, put them out the playoffs last season, I think they have a legitimate chance to win this game outright. That's all I'm saying. I think they have a legitimate chance to win this game outright. We've seen Corbin Burns kind of be touched up a bit. His last game, the Astros got to him for 5 hits. I mean, he was decent. It was decent. But for what Corbin Burns is, all I'm saying is I think the Rangers have a chance here. They were competitive against Milwaukee. They just fell flat in the end in like two of those later games. So I'll take a shot on the huge plus money price with the Rangers. I don't think the O's are this much better than my Rangers, and we just saw that last year confirmed. So give me Texas. I'll take the Phillies with Zach Wheeler and lay the huge price. Or like 2.5 is really what I'm saying. Am I in love with it? No. You're getting plus 110 on the 2.5, though. It's probably going to be a 5-1 game, like Ron said. The money Marlins, they are one of the worst teams in baseball, but it's because of their starting rotation. It's completely depleted. All my guys gone. Luzardo, Sandy, Yuri, Cabrera. Like, God damn. It's grim over there. So it's no surprise that they're this bad. Trevor Rogers has been the absolute worst pitcher in baseball. The absolute worst pitcher in baseball. Nobody worse. Betting wise. Betting wise. Like, I'm just saying, like, pitching wise, Not necessarily, but fading his ass, fading him when he's on the mound, fading his team when he's on the mound, he's been the worst, is what I was trying to say. Small lean on the Phillies laying the huge price. And
you know who's second worst?
who?
Andrew Heaney.
No. Not surprised. Yankees, Blue Jays. I'm still on the fade the Blue Jays train. I'm gonna be on the Yankees run line. Squares play on the board probably today, but it's usually one of the squares plays every day because the Yankees the most overrated, overvalued, most public team there is. But they backed it up a lot this season. That's what's crazy. They backed it up, and you got to give them credit for it. And I'll lean towards that direction because I've stuck a fork in the Blue Jays.
Like how long? Like how cooked are the Blue Jays?
Like cooked.
Medium rare, like well done, like
well done, burnt.
Wow.
Yeah, like they're gonna.
We're not even at the halfway point, and
Nah,
you put that little pick.
I wonder if there's a bet. It's probably unbettable at this point. It's probably like -200. But like
for what, the Blue Jays to miss the playoffs or what?
No, Blue Jays to finish last in the division.
Can you even bet that? I don't even know.
I would say it's big time negative odds.
Yeah, it probably is.
Wow.
They're
nobody asked you.
Horrifying. I mean, no offense, but
we suck.
I mean, the lineup they put together each day is just like, who are these people? Who are you people?
Like, okay, if I'm gonna be honest, they're not like they could get back into it, but like I don't even see the want to.
They're gonna be sellers, so they're not. They're gonna
exactly. Like I don't even see the want to. At least for like my Rangers are in a similar position, but I kind of like there's kind of still like we're the champs. There's kind of a we're supposed to be better than this. Let's be better than this attitude. I feel with the Rangers. I don't feel nothing.
The Blue Jays to miss the playoffs is -2,000.
Yeah, so I do love the Blue Jays. That's why I'm hurt. That's why I'm hurt because I do like the Blue Jays. That's why I'm so hurt.
The Rays to miss the playoffs is -700.
Really?
It's -700. Yeah. So what is it to make? That's
plus 500.
Oh, I'd take that.
That's worth the sprinkle.
The Rangers.
I don't think the Royals are going to get there, so I think that's a team that's going to drop out. The question is it going to be the Astros or the Rays?
I gave you a shout out yesterday.
The Rangers,
the Royals. You've been like dead on about them all season long. You said they were going to start off hot, then they were going to cool off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But the Rays, we know what's up with them back into the season. So
yeah, I'd say plus 500, not too shabby.
The Rangers to make the playoffs are plus 550.
I'm there.
Not everybody can make the playoffs, Jay.
Get my 2 wild cards right there. Or there's 3, right? There's 3.
Yeah. Just trying to see if there's any other crazy. I mean, I know it's right now. It's a step back, but the Tigers to make the playoffs are plus 950.
Oof. You can have that one.
Okay. I just was just looking at big odds and just throwing it out there. The Reds plus 550.
I don't know. Hold on. I got
what are the Mets right now?
Shit. It's tight in the American League. It's kind of sweet over there.
Plus 215 to make the playoffs.
I'll sell that one. I'll do that. What's the miss?
Minus 265. Parlay piece.
I'll take the Mets to miss. I'll just take the Mets to miss and cash my ticket. No parlay needed.
for the
what's San Diego to miss?
$25.
I'd bet San Diego to miss.
Minus 130.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
I wish I could do like live win totals and just see if there's. I mean, I'm trying to see if I can find it, because I would take under 500 for the San Diego Padres. I really don't think they're gonna.
Why don't you guys like the Padres?
I'm just betting on them. Like they're just overrated.
Overrated?
Yes. They're talked about like they're the Yankees and they're a 500 baseball team.
San Diego is?
Yes, every day.
From
like,
who?
For a lot of people. That's why, like, what is there to make the playoffs?
Mitch,
I don't know.
I'm going to the World Series.
Yeah, like.
Well, that's Mitch. I mean, but I don't think a
But
lot of
this is
people.
even before Mitch. I've had this problem with.
I mean, when the Soto, obviously the Padres were big, but once Soto left, I think the hype kind of left with it.
I don't think so. It's still kind of there. Like I trust the Diamondbacks are gonna jump to Padres in that. I trust that. So, worth a flyer. If you with me, you with me, man. Seattle to miss. Seattle to miss. Seattle to miss. Praying
that lineup is pretty ugly.
Yep. Praying that my Rangers and the Astros do what we think they're gonna do.
Yeah, Padres to miss are minus 130. So, just interesting. I don't know. There's a couple that I would. Yeah.
What's the Giants to make?
I was just gonna say Giants to make are plus 280.
Oh, I'll take that. I'll take Giants to make and Mets to miss parlay.
I just don't see the Giants. It's not a bad play.
What was the other one you like? The Rays to make?
Yeah.
That would be a nice parlay. Just Rays to make and Giants to make.
But I don't know. I like St. Louis and I like San Diego too.
Like
maybe the Braves fall out. Don't necessarily love Atlanta, so maybe they fall out.
Yeah. The Braves to miss the playoffs is plus 1,200.
Wow.
I gotta look at this a little more. I might bet a couple today, like before we get closer to the All-Star break. I think I'm betting that Padres to miss.
What's the Twins to win the division?
That shit ain't happening. What's the Twins to miss playoffs?
Twins to win division.
Let me guess first. Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry.
425. I was going to say 350, but I like 425.
Orioles to win the AL East if they were to rally and sneak up on the Yankees plus 190.
You said O's plus 190
to win the division.
I know I'd be hating on them. I know them Yanks been hot, but what are they? Only 2 games up.
They're only 1 game up.
Or 1 game. Yeah, my bad. 1 game. Ain't bad.
And the Yankees are slumping.
For how up and down the NL Central's been the last few years, you could take the Cardinals to win the division at plus 450.
Yeah, I'd take that too. These are all probably sucker bets.
Yeah, I know. The Brewers are minus 310 right now.
There's all these big odds. They look so good.
How far out are the Braves?
8
I know
games.
they're a little bit 8 games plus 265.
Terrible bet.
Yeah, I think the Phillies.
I'm just looking at who's second in each of these divisions and just seeing.
I trust the Mets more to jump the Braves than I do the Braves to jump the Phillies.
Well, Jay, you're bullish on the it's bullish or bearish, so the one that you don't like them, but you don't like the Mariners to close out. You like the Mariners to fall off, right?
Yeah.
The Astros to win the AL West are plus 205.
That tells you everything you need to know. What I got 4.5 game lead. Actually, ain't too. I mean, it's not juicy enough, but it ain't too.
I don't know if I want to tell. I don't know if I want to tell Jay what the Rangers are.
What are they? Plus 500.
750.
1,100.
Woo.
7.5 back. we're to be like 1,000.
No, we're not doing that because then if that comes through, then I have to take you guys to Robichon. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, we're staring at a wild card most likely.
Could I interest you in the Oakland A's to win the AL West at plus 35,000?
No, you can't.
But
I will say the Rangers schedule kind of opens up at the back end. We got a lot of Angels, Athletics, White Sox, and shit like that.
How about your Rockies to win the NL West at plus 50,000?
You sound like the guy that bet last night to
your Rockies to make the playoffs at plus 2,500.
Nah, I like them boys, but not like that.
Your Houston Astros to make the playoffs at minus 105.
What's the Rangers to make the playoffs?
I was waiting for Jay to actually to respond to me saying his Houston Astros. What was the Jays?
You said the Astros are minus 105 to make it, so what are the Rangers? That's the
plus
value.
550.
Yeah, you told me that already. I gotta bet that today. I'm betting the Rangers today to make.
I'm not letting you double dip, okay? I'm not letting you double dip. You're not getting plus 550 for making the playoffs and then getting Robichon, okay? It's not happening.
Betting the Padres to miss the playoffs, and I'm gonna bet with Guardians to win the division because they got that shit locked up. It's a lock.
I wouldn't say so.
It's a lock.
Minus 310.
Oh yeah, but it's parlay piece.
All right, we'll get one more thing to ask you guys before we'll get back into the last 3 games. But who do you have making the World Series realistically, Jay?
I don't know, man. It's so wide open right now because
I know it is, but I was just saying if you just had to pick today, just to throw out a matchup.
Forced to pick a matchup today. I'm with you, Ramon. Phillies and the Guardians would be mine too. Phillies.
You could take the Phillies to beat the Guardians in the World Series at plus 3,000.
They don't have the rotation.
Who? Guardians?
Guardians. If you got Ben Lively starting game 3 of the ALCS, I think you need to change your britches.
And the Guardians to beat the Phillies at plus 4,000. Ron, do you have any leans on?
I'll go Phillies. And but Phillies, I would say, is the favorite for me. I don't think the Dodgers get there. I think the Phillies. But a long shot, I like the Cardinals.
Cardinals plus 2,200.
And in the AL, my favorite would be the Yankees. And my long shot would be the Twins.
Guardians, for his mind, I think they're, you know what I mean? And then I just don't see Yankees or Baltimore getting there. I'm sorry. I just don't see it happening. And then I wouldn't be surprised if one of them West teams got their shit together, Houston or Texas. I just wouldn't be surprised. So give me Houston or Texas as my long shots.
Yeah. I think I'm probably with you guys in the Phillies for a favorite, but as a long shot, I like that Cardinals play from Ron. For the AL, Jay, don't at me on this, okay?
It's your opinion.
My Orioles.
Got it. Fair.
And long shot. Take a stab on the Astros.
It's probably going to be a wild card like it's been. You know what I mean? You just keep the momentum that you got. You're kind of hot. You roll it forward. Yeah.
I also say don't give up on the Red Sox.
Hashtag dirty water.
Good bullpen, solid lineup, decent rotation.
It's crazy that they were expected to finish at the bottom of that division this year.
Yeah.
But anyways, we'll revisit that, I'm sure, down the road. But let's get to our last three games. We got the Cincinnati Reds and the St. Louis Cardinals. We got the Cleveland Guardians and the Kansas City Royals, and the Detroit
Lively, man. Game 3 started at ALCS, man.
and the Detroit Tigers taking on the Los Angeles Angels.
You up, Roof?
Me? All right. Well, I'm gonna go with the Guardians here. I know it sets up maybe a spot where we're kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop with Ben Lively, like, you know, the regression monster's coming for him, but the Guardians are just playing so well. And Michael Wacha, you know, his ERA is higher at home. I think his opponent batting average is higher at home. And the Guardians, you know, they're just still playing solid baseball. And I think they get the job done here. You know, right now the Royals got the series win against the Marlins, but the series win over the Marlins doesn't move the needle much for me. You know, I need to see a little bit more from them before I declare them back. And the Guardians, like I said, they looked really good in that series against the Orioles, I have to admit. So give me the Guardians there. I'm going to lean towards the Cardinals as well. I really wish it was Sonny Gray as it was supposed to be, but I think they moved Michaelis up to, or I don't know if they moved him up, or it was supposed to be Sonny Gray. I saw Sonny Gray yesterday. I'm seeing Miles Michaelis now, but I like the way the Cardinals been playing, and I don't love Andrew Abbott in this spot, so give me the Cardinals there. And I like the Tigers, but I'm not trying to lay that price with them on the road, given that offense. And I think Jack Flaherty's a far better starter, but yeah, don't love the price with the Tigers there. But Tigers are nothing for me in that one. Jay, what do you like?
I haven't. These words are gonna sound really weird coming out of my mouth, but Miles Michaelis, look, he been pitching all right. He was a guy I usually just look to fade, especially last year. He was just when he was on the mound, I just was fading his team. The Cardinals hype is probably starting to get a little out of hand. It's still a team only 3 games above 500, but they are playing well. They are playing well, and I've even been betting them a little bit here recently. The Cardinals playing well when I take them with Lance Lynn on the mound in cash. You know that's when the Cardinals play well. Not only did they win, but I took them to win. I'm a Cardinals hater. I haven't ran from it the last couple seasons, and everybody knows I like the Reds, the De La Cruzes, but the De La Cruzes just had a nice little homestand. They weren't necessarily the best in it. We know they're a team that has kind of stacked wins in bunches and L's in bunches this season. Losers are 4 of their last 5. I'm not really seeing the pieces be put together here for Cincinnati. They're kind of free falling. The Cardinals are playing much better right now. Again, like I said, Michaelis, look at his last 5 starts. They've been decent. I know he got kind of touched up, gave up 4 in his last outing, but his team backed him up, and they got the dub there. Give me a small lean on the Cardinals, straight up money line at home at the crib. I'm going to take the Guardians, and I'm going to lay a run line with the Guardians. I know they lost yesterday, but they're still in one of the best stretches they've played all season. No surprise there, I think they're one of the best teams in baseball. Years past, they had a decent pitching staff, played really well at home, were kind of not that good at hitting the baseball. This year, they're a totally different team, hitting the baseball wise. And I think they can get to Michael Wacha. I do. I think they can get to him, touch him up a bit. He pitched all right in his last outing. Shout out to him. And hey, it was against my team too, the Rangers. He's actually hasn't been too terrible, Michael Wacha, recently, but his last 3 starts have all ended up in L's, losses to Tampa, San Diego, Texas. All those games kind of, for some odd way, he pitched okay, but they still ended up kind of high scoring. Rangers touched up the bullpen, got 6 after he left. The Padres got 11 after, what'd they get? 8, 9 after he left. So kind of worried about this Royals bullpen, worried about the regression of the Royals. I think there's so much value just laying runs with the Guardians. An offensive team this year is kind of crazy. Give me a Guardians run line. And the Tigers, they're free falling right now, man. And the Angels are low key in their best stretch of baseball they've played all season. Oddly enough, small shot here on the Angels at the plus money at home at the crib. I don't like the Tigers coming off the homestand. You know, White Sox, Phillies. They were okay. You know, I mean, they were okay. And I know that the Angels just played the Athletics, but you can only play who's in front of you. We saw them get one off the Dodgers. Give me the Angels. I think they're playing high right now. Tigers a 50-50 team, 50-50 game. Getting a good price with the home team.
Yep, I'm going to go with the over in the Guardians-Royals game. I think it's going to be a high-scoring series. At Kauffman, I think Michael Wacha, while he's been better recently, I still don't think it's a great matchup for him against this Guardians team. They do such a good job at limiting strikeouts, getting on base. They steal bases. I think that really the Royals pitching staff could be in trouble in this series. And while the Royals have been quite inconsistent offensively recently, I still think that they're one of the better lineups in the American League, especially when they get to play at home. And facing Ben Lively, I've mentioned the regression concerns. Right now, he's got a 3.03 ERA. But you look at some of the things like he's in the bottom 15th percentile and average exit velocity, chase percentage, whiff percentage. So his strikeouts haven't been miserable. But if he's in the bottom 15th percentile and chase percentage and whiff percentage, he's not really going to be able to rely on those strikeouts for long. And I think that the Royals do a good job of putting the ball in play, hitting the ball hard like they've done the last couple of years. And at Kauffman, which is, more of a hitter-friendly ballpark, I think they take advantage. So if you were going to take Kansas City in this game, I would take them in the first 5. That's where I think they have an advantage. When it comes to the late innings, the Guardians have the best bullpen in baseball. I think that this is a huge advantage that Cleveland has with their bullpen compared to Kansas City, who you could argue in terms of expected numbers are the worst bullpen in baseball. So I'll take the over. Royals first 5, Guardians full game. And take the Ben Lively earned runs over in this one as well.
Hating on my guy Ben Lively, man. That's not my guy, by the way. He's not my guy.
Yeah, you can have him. You can have him.
It's your guy. It's your guy. Got to try to figure out who Jay's starting rotation of the World Series would be. Ben Lively, Brian Bayo,
Quinn Priester,
Tariq Skubal. Who am I missing? There's
yesterday he looked good. Yesterday,
yeah.
The day before, they run together.
I think
they run together. They run together.
Who's number 5? We have Priester, we have Skubal, Bayo, Ben Lively. Oh, Brian Wu.
Bayo got touched up and hurt my feelings the other day.
Woo.
Who?
Woo.
That's my guy right there. Now that's my guy.
He loves Woo.
That's my guy right there.
He woos over Woo. And then you got the long relief arm when the game is out of hand.
When Woo back on that mound, man. Hold on, y'all done turn me up.
You know when you got that. When you have that game that where you're like in the playoffs and you're down like 9-1 in the 4th inning. That's who you see on the mound. And then you turn the TV, and then all of a sudden, then you're down 16-1, and it's like, oh, Andrew Heaney, damn it.
He goes 3 innings, and then Dane Dunning enters the ball game.
Oh God, Dane Dunning has entered the chat. What's the worst feeling? What is that the worst feeling, or is it seeing Miguel Castro take them out from Diamondbacks bullpen?
For me, it's Rafael Montero out of the Astros.
Oh yeah. What did Montero ever do to you?
Ripped up.
Never mind. I don't know. I'm not asking questions I don't want the answer to. Jay, what do you got for sale today?
Hey, man, I got my $19 Major League Baseball play of the day. You guys can scoop it up. And I also have a play in the WNBA. You guys can scoop up as well. So probably have a 3-pack. I'm probably gonna put 2 out there for you guys in Major League Baseball. But yeah, both top plays will be up, in like a couple minutes. Just gotta type up the article, and then yeah, scoop it all up. Pick Dogs Premium, money making Thursday. Hop on a longer pass and get everything that I'm offering for a longer period of time. Save you a couple dollars.
Yeah, I got my rundown best bet in the MLB, and I got my WNBA play of the day as well against the spread. And like Jay said, long term, you can get all those plays, baseball, Canadian football this weekend. There's a game tonight, but I don't love it, so staying away from that one. But we've done well in the Canadian Football League so far, and looking to cash some more tickets this weekend.
What you got, Roof?
Yeah, same thing. Got my $19 MLB pickoff play, and I got a 3-pack for the WNBA today. So definitely check something out. Check any of us out over at Pick Dogs Premium or any of the other awesome handicappers. Everybody's got something up for sale today. It's small card, but we all got something going on. Who's your favorite CFL team?
My favorite, Edmonton Elks. I like them.
Have they snapped their home losing streak? I don't even know. I didn't ask Ross about that. They had
I think they did.
They hadn't won a home game in like 2 years.
My least favorite is the Alouettes.
Oh, me too. I hate the Alouettes. I'm not far from the Hamilton Tiger Cat Stadium, so I got to go start checking out games. But we'll see. We'll see. I can also go to Toronto, go see the Argos play. I got to start getting into more CFL, man. I don't know why. I used to like it. I used to go to a lot of games, and then I tailed off of it a little bit. I fell off. But
yeah,
oh well.
I kind of like it. It's some of the rules don't love, especially when they can review flags.
Jay couldn't believe the single point rule. And the 110 meter field, and you have to go 10 meters and 3 downs. I
just don't know why they don't make a big deal. Like any point you get on the board, I think is somewhat significant. But when you get a single, it's like that they act like it didn't even like matter. Like
it's just like
yeah. I saw like the team tweet about it, like, oh, they added a point. I would say, all right, we got another one.
Well, when you're down 31-4, that's
well, yeah, point. Sure. But there was one where they extended the lead by 1, and it made it to where it was a 2-possession game. So I figured it was somewhat significant, but not to Argonauts Twitter.
Yeah, Ron's scoregami is well in play with the CFL. The amount of random 26-11 games I've seen in the CFL is a little bit unsettling. But anyways, it's about that time.
Parlay.
Jay, what do you got?
I'm gonna go the blowout route. Give me the Aces in the WNBA. Give me the Phillies laying the extended 2.5. And give me the Yankees laying the run line.
Ron, I didn't ask you, but do you like anything for the WNBA today, or is it
just the premium play I have there? I thought it was a pretty tough card otherwise.
What do you got for a parlay?
All right, let me look and see what we can get on this lively earn runs over. I'm going to take that and the Orioles team total over, but I'm trying to find, let's see, the official number here. I'm going to guess it should be 7.5, but it's probably going to be 2.5. Let's see. Yeah, 2.5 over -150. It's a little steep. I would say extended to 3.5. Ben Lively over 3.5 earned runs. And then I'm going to go with the Baltimore Orioles team total over. And let's see how much we can extend this bad boy. So it's 4.5 now. I could say you're probably safe at 8.5. But if you want to be conservative, go with the 5.5. So Lively over 3.5 earned runs and Orioles over 5.5 team total.
Well, now I'm starting to see what I can extend this to. Hold on. I don't even know if I can find a team total here. Anyways, mine, I will go with the Minnesota Twins, the Cleveland Guardians, and since it's a parlay, throw the Baltimore Orioles money line in there. I'm not going to go extendo total like Ron did and go gadget total, but I'll take the O's here. I think there's going to be good value spots for the Rangers at some point, but I just don't think it's this one.
Fair enough.
Alrighty, I think that's it.
Money making Thursday.
Yes, sir. Got all our videos up at Pick Dogs. Ron's rundown. Jay and I did the WNBA layup session. We did all the individual games. We're gonna have more WNBA tonight to talk about. Yeah, I'm excited. We'll see you guys bright and early. Jay, Ron, thank you guys for joining me. Appreciate you guys, and we'll see you all bright and early tomorrow morning.
Adios.
Good luck, everyone.
Good night.